Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas for UFC 222 alongside Stefan Struve, who meets Andrei Arlovski this Saturday live on pay-per-view. Stefan, it's good to see you. It's been a while. How are you?
I'm great, doing great. Happy it's fight week. Fighting an icon on a pay-per-view. Training camp was great, so yeah, can't wait for Saturday.
Just curious, it has been a while since we've seen you, around 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Any reason for the break?
I had shoulder surgery beginning of last year, and then the UFC offered me to headline the Holland card for September, and I think they offered it around March, April, and I accepted that. But during the fight and getting close to the fight, I felt that shoulder wasn't 100% like the way it is right now. So after the fight, I decided I really had to do more work. So I took 2-3 months extra to really make that shoulder strong again, and it took some time, but now I'm here. So.
Do you feel like the shoulder affected your performance against Volkov?
In a way that I couldn't keep up the pace that I was setting. I was starting to get trouble because I was compensating my body. I do a lot with my front hand, the jab, tying up. Most of my submissions, I go to the left side. So, he was just the better man. I don't want to make any excuses for that. He was the better man that night, but, it didn't go my way. It was fight of the night, so that was a little bit of comfort for me. But, I'm definitely fired up to put down a great fight this Saturday.
Dropping that fight in your home country, did that sting even more?
Oh, yeah.
Did that take a while to get over?
The first 1-2 weeks, I didn't want anything to do with the sport. I trained my ass off that training camp. I really worked really hard to put down a great fight, and I started off really fired out. I wanted to put him out, and then when you don't get the performance you want in your home country with everybody there coming for you, the arena was filled up for me, and then it doesn't go your way, that hurts. That really, really hurts, but it's only fuel to the fire right now, so a good performance this Saturday will definitely make it a little easier about that fight.
Andre has been around the sport forever, former champion, he's a legend. Is this someone, while you were coming up, that you thought about fighting? Did you ever envision yourself or dream of fighting him?
I definitely, watched him. I don't even know how old I was when I started watching him fight. He was just always amazing to watch. I still watch his fights. He's an icon, and I got a ton of respect for him. But this fight, I kind of compare it to when I fought Nogueira. I got a ton of respect for him too, and I fought him in his home country, and now I get to fight Andre over here. It's just great experiences. He's an absolute icon, and I respect him a lot.
Where do you think he's at in his career, though? Because he did have that long losing streak, and he got back on track in his last fight. But it's kind of hard to gauge just based off one performance. Do you think he's on? Is this the tail end, in your opinion, of his career?
Well, he's not getting any younger. You cannot change anything about that. Skill-wise, in my opinion, he's still one of the best heavyweights in the world. But beating time, nobody beats time. But if you look at his record, he had a streak before where he went on 4 losses in a row, bad finishes. And everybody's saying Andre should retire and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then he fought his way back to a 10-fight win streak outside of the UFC, got back to the UFC, had a big win streak. Then he fought Stipe, he lost that fight. But if you look at the losses he had these last couple of years, it's the entire top 3 is there. It's Stipe, it's Alistair, it's Ngannou, it's Josh Barnett, who was on steroids. Tibura, that's not an easy list of fighters to fight. He looked good in his last fight, and I absolutely cannot underestimate him. Because I really believe that skill-wise, especially in the stand-up, he's still one of the best guys in the world. So I really got to be on my A game, be focused, and just impose my will.
By the way, speaking of Stipe, we still think about your win over him, and I'm wondering how much you still think about it. And is it almost surreal that he's the champion now and looks so unbeatable, yet you have that win? Is that what kind of keeps you going? Because not a lot of people could claim what you did against that man.
We had very different paths, and I knew that when we were going to fight, I believed that he was going to do really, really well as well. I had no idea what he was going to do because at that point, it was my idea to become champion, but my path was completely different. I didn't even 1 year after that, I didn't even know I was going to fight again. I was fighting for my career. I was fighting to. I wasn't even sure I was going to go into open heart surgery soon, or I didn't know what was going on. So I had to reset and really fight my way back to where I wanted to be and just fight again. So it was a long road, and I'm still making my way back up. But I'm really happy for him to see that he's doing so well. And of course, I looked that fight back, and I was on fire that night. Like he'll say the same thing. I was just the better man that night, and that's all. That's all. It's a long time ago, but.
You think you'll get it again against him? You get another crack at him?
The only way I can get that is get a nice couple wins, and I think I should have won that fight last year in Holland, and then I would have been real close, because they don't make DC versus Stipe because there's a ton of contenders. There's not a clear-cut contender right now that he hasn't fought, or that people really want to see him fight. Like the Ngannou fight, it was something people really wanted to see. So I know that if I get 2-3 wins, big finishes this year, then that's definitely something people are going to talk about, So, but I know things can change real fast. So I'm just happy to be here. I'm enjoying every single fight week to the fullest. What I say, I'm fighting an icon this Saturday on a pay-per-view for the UFC. A couple of years ago, I wasn't even sure if I was fighting again. So I'm just thankful for that, and we'll see what this year brings.
Welcome back, Stefan. Best of luck to you on Saturday. Looking forward to it.